buying a call or buying a put, TD Ameritrade platform, ThinkOrSwim. So we're in a training and a ThinkOrSwim platform known as On Demand or a virtual account. And so this gives you an opportunity to practice on the platform of how to make trades in a simulated environment. You can see up in the top area here, you can actually place, if you press on the calendar, you can actually go back to any day and time, and it could simulate the actual market conditions. Right now, we're using February the 14th at 10:37. We actually have it on pause, and when you're ready to actually play that simulated environment, you can press the play button. When you open up your ThinkOrSwim platform, you download it, and once it's downloaded, it may not look like this, but you can actually change the colors and kind of whatever suits your eyes and suits however you like to have things set up. You can place it on the platform. Here we have at the top section the different tabs. The tabs will all be the same pretty much: monitor, trade, analyze, scan, marketplace, charts, tools, education, and help. Today we're just going to be focusing on the trade tab for now, just so we can talk about how to buy a call and buy a put. So those subscribers that's watching this video, those that are subscribed to greenmoneywatch.com subscription to get the stock alerts, option alerts rather, whenever the alerts that we send out, you will see information on there about the expiration date. This is called an option chain, which all this is explained in the live classes and in the digitized content that's coming soon. So this is an option chain, and these are the expiration dates. So I'm using WHR, so you can place WHR in the area here, and this is the information for WHR. And what you have here is, like I said, the expiration dates. As you can see, the expiration dates go all the way down to the 24th of January, 2022, which is 707 days from the making of this video. Now, if you want to get, this is the information on WHR at the time of February 14th at 10:37 Eastern Standard Time, 10:37 a.m. Also, if you click here, you can open up just some different information about WHR. So we're going to come down to WHR, and if we wanted to buy WHR, what we do, we'll come down to whichever expiration date that we're looking for. We can open up that expiration date. And once we open up the expiration date, we can actually change the number of strikes. So you can either do up to 14. You can do all the strikes. If you do all the strikes, it opens up all the strikes that are available. Or you can actually place in the number of strikes that you want. So if you want to place in 20, you can place in 20 strikes, and it'll show you 20 strike prices. These are the strike prices here. Once again, this is the things that we discussed in the class, in the live classes, and in the digitized content that soon be available. So let's say we wanted to buy a call option on WHR, because our research suggesting that WHR should have an increase in the next, let's say, 20 trading days. So if we come to the 150 strike, this is 150 strike here, what we would do is we would do a right click, and you have all these options here. You can buy, sell, and then you can do custom orders, but we're just going to focus on buying right now. So we want to buy. If you hover on the buy, what you would have here is other options open up. So what'll happen is you want to buy a call. You want to buy a single call. You come up to single. So now what we have is the order. It's not official yet because it's some redundancy built into the program, which is great. So you won't just be buying something without knowing what's happening. So you have a single, you're buying a single WHR call at the 150 strike, which expires on the 24th of March, 2020. The price is $5.50, which those who already taken the course already knows that this means $550, and they know why. And this is a limit order. And actually, this lock here allows you to lock the price in place, so it won't move around. But we're going to not lock it in place now because there's some other things we want to look at. This is considered a limit order. I suggest that you do limit orders 90% of the time, only because you're allowed to get the price that you want. And if it doesn't meet that price, then it won't fill. So there are different types of orders. You have a market order, limit order, stop limit order. I'm not going to go over all of these. You can actually either come to a class or you can do some research on your own. But right now, just talk about a limit order. I will say, well, a market order it'll just fill at whatever the market suggested price, which it may be less than what you want. It's never going to be more. You're never going to pretty much benefit from a market order price unless you're just trying to just close it immediately. So if you're just trying to close a something immediately or an order immediately, then just do a market order. Limit order, as I suggested, allows you to place your price. Stop order will allow you to put in a price to stop or close the trade, meaning that, okay, if it drops by 5%, if it goes up by a certain amount, whatever, it'll stop the order. And there's a stop limit order as well. So you actually choose, do you want it to be a day order, meaning that it will expire at the end of the day. So if we put in a limit order to buy this call option, but the option never meets our price expectation to open the trade, at the end of the day, if it's not filled, it'll just cancel the order. There's something called GTC, which is a good to cancel. That means that if it will continue to have this order active until the limit is met. Okay. So for this training purpose, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and start our active training. And so down here, we have a limit order. It's not set yet. We're going to we'll do good to cancel. Only thing, this exchange over here, you want it to be on best because it just means it's going to give you the best routing institution, because there are different firms that route orders, or different companies or different firms, excuse me, that route orders. So we just want the best exchange. So because these are the different exchanges that you may see. Okay, these are all exchanges that route our orders. So we just want the best one. So always make sure your exchange is on best. If you come down here, you have something called the mid and nat. This is the mid price. This is the natural price. Now, the mid price, you always want to go more toward the mid price, because at least you're getting the middle of the spread. Okay, we talk about that in the classes as well. You get in the middle of the spread, or you don't actually have to. You can actually put in your own price. You can go below the mid price if you like. You don't have to be beholden to either the mid price or the natural price. But if you're gonna put it on, at least do the mid price. Okay, so let's just say for this example, we're gonna use the mid price. Okay, so we are buying a WHR call, the 150 strike, and we're using the mid price of $5.35. So what we want to do is confirm and send. Once we're going to confirm and send, we see our break-even price, we see our max profit, our max loss, Anytime you buy an option, the max loss you can have is what you pay for the option. So we're going to send our order. Okay, that's the purchase sound. Okay, once our order has been opened, then this is what we have here. You're going to see this green tab here that has POS on it. That means that you're in possession of this call option until the 20th of March, 35 days from February 14th. Okay. And if you wanted information on it, what you can do, you can right click, come down to view trade, and it'll show you here, okay, that the average price you paid, $5.35, that was the cost of it. The mark just means of what it's at right now. And this is your P&L, your profit loss. It changes throughout the day according to what the underlying is doing. Okay. So, okay, let's say if you now wanted to close the order. So if we wanted to close this order, then what we would do is come here, or we can come to the strike price. Here, right click, it says create closing order. The good thing about this, it already has it'll have different types of closing orders. And when I say different, that means it's according to how many trades you have on, what type of trades you have on. Okay, because you can place on an option strategy, and maybe you don't want to take the whole strategy off. You may want to take one of the strategies off, or one part of the strategy, and all of these will come up. So you just have to that's why it's good to kind of know the different trading strategies, which we have a course, which is part 3 in our course series of trading strategies. So if you're creating a closing trade, you can come here. Let's say we're going to close it. So you buy to open the option, and you're going to sell to close. Okay, and when we're buying it, okay, it's different if you're selling options. That's why we have to take one step at a time. So that's why we're just buying a call, and now we're going to close it. Let's just say it met our price target. I press here. Now this is a closing order. As you can see, you're going to sell. It's a minus 1 contract of WHR 20 March expiration to 150 strike. It's a call option. And let's say our price. Let's see. Let's go to our mid price. So we're going to close it. So it looks like it would be up 2 cents or something there, which would be $2. So limit order for, we could say today we'll close it. We don't have to do good to cancel. You can if you want to. Just doing this as an example or training video. So let's do our confirm and send. As you can see, max profit $5.37. Cost of the trade is nothing. Okay, here send. Okay, close out the trade, and now there's nothing here, and you've closed the trade. Okay, say for instance you want to do a put option. Let's try something different here. Say we use SYY, and we want to do a put option because from our research, let's say that we think the option will decrease in value, or the underlying will decrease in value. So let's say from our research, we said go 30 plus days out to expiration. Okay, we see that this is 35 days out, 20th of March. And so let's say we'll do the 75 or 80 strike. So we'll come over once again. We're buying a put option on SYY. We come to the 80 strike. We're going to right click. We're going to do buy. Coming here, we're going to go up to single. We're going to buy single. Okay, now here you can buy as many options as you like. Here you just up, down, okay, for this video we're using one option, but you can buy as many options that you like. Okay, so here we have one contract, SYY, expiration to 20th of March. It's the 80 strike, and the type of option is a put option. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we're not going to keep it at 250. We remember that using the mid price gives us a better right in the middle of that spread. We don't have to. We can actually decrease it if we like, and then we'll do a limit order. and we'll do a date order for this example, and we'll confirm here. Let's say, for instance, you said, okay, I like this, but what I want to do is not put it on now. I want to save it, and I want to come back to it. You can actually save this order, okay? You can save it, and it'll be under your saved orders, okay? So let's say everything looks good, and we're going to place our trade, okay? So that's the sound of actually the trade being open. So as you can see here, you see your you actually in possession of the 80 strike, put strike of SYY. Okay, but it expires in 35 days. So let's say we close this up. This is what it looks like. Even if the option chain is closed, it's showing what you actually are in ownership of. So now we'll just continue with our practice here, and we will close the trade. Of course, you're not going to open and close them this quick, but just for training purposes. I mean, unless it met your target, your price target or profit target within, a few minutes, which sometimes can happen. So let's just say we're going to close this here. Okay, we'll come back to our create closing order. And I'm going to left click. And after you left click, you actually, once again, you can actually see what you're closing. Which again, you're selling. Here you have a -1 contract. The other one was a +1, so -1. The other one being when you open it up, when you open a trade. Now we're closing the trade. SYY is the symbol. Expiration the 20th of March is the 80 strike price. It's a put option. And we're going to change that price. Remember, we're going to go at the mid price. You can go higher if you want to. That means you closing it for an additional value. And then you have your mid price. It's a limit order. And we're going to just use, for today, we're not going to do good to cancel training purposes. Got the best exchange. So we're going to confirm and send. Confirm and send. Max profit. That's our max loss. And this doesn't really matter. You're closing the trade here. Only reason it brings it up is if you were actually opening up if you were selling a trade, that's different. That's something, again, we talk about in our trading strategies. That's if you were selling, but this we're closing. So when this pops up, don't feel like there's some issue with, I'm going to lose $7,000. No, that's not the case. You're just closing this trade. And it shows what your max profit would be. So you send. Okay, that means your trade is closed. So this has just been a quick video of how to buy a call and buy a put. We'll do another video of how to add moving averages or certain indicators to your chart. Hopefully this has been helpful. Have a great day.